Ooh, what's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are booking the Invasion angle, playing as the WWF, and we're in the year 2002. We're booking everybody's favorite show here tonight, Sunday Night Heat. And I'm sorry I made you guys wait. I'm sorry. You know, I posted a little bit of a picture on Twitter today. I've been trying to be a little bit more active on my Twitter, so you can always go ahead and follow me over there. Sunday Night Heat takes almost just as long for me to book as does Nitro and Raw. And I feel the reason with that mostly is because with Nitro and Raw, like, I'm always thinking of the stories, you know? Like, I'm always thinking of what I want to do next. So when I come to Nitro and Raw, it's like a little bit easier because for me, I have a general idea of what I'm going in with. It's just the perfectionist in me that comes out to where I want to make sure I'm writing exactly what I want the story to be about, or, you know, doing what I want to do with the match, or, you know, so on and so forth. But with Heat, let me move this mic. I don't know if you guys can hear me that well. With Heat, unlike Nitro and Raw, I don't have much of a plan going into Sunday Night Heat. Nitro and Raw, I usually know what my main event is going to be. I usually know what major storylines we're going to be covering. And then everything else just kind of comes along with the way. Sunday Night Heat, I go in and I'm like, okay, what are our storylines? We've got Boogie Nights and Too Cool. We've got, the Right to Censor, and we're starting the Hardcore Holly and Spike Dudley feud here right now, you know, with the Holly family thing going on. So we got a couple of feuds here on Heat, so I have a general idea what I want to book. But I still don't have, like, I'm not always thinking about, okay, what's the next step in the storyline with Too Cool and Rikishi and company, or what am I going to do next with the Right to Censor. I don't really think about all that until we actually get to Sunday Night Heat, and that's when it starts, you know, me throwing ideas in my head. So it's interesting to me, and I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, which is normal, but I apologize as always. It's interesting to me how Raw and Nitro take just as long as Sunday Night Heat does. And you would think Heat would be easy, like I can just throw together a quick card and that's it. And it should be that way, but, you know, I like to make it a little bit more story-driven, you know how I am. And I just find that interesting how, despite me going into Monday Night Raw and Thursday Night Nitro, despite me going in and having a general idea of what I want to do, it still takes me a while to book. And even, you know, Sunday Night Heat with me not having any idea, it takes me, you know, still a millennia to book, it seems like. Sorry for the little bit of a tangent there, but just kind of went off on it. Sometimes you just say what comes to your mind. Either way, though, let's go ahead and run this show. I kept you guys waiting long enough for your favorite show on the channel. Let's do it. Although some of you have told me you like 205 Live better than Sunday Night Heat, so to each their own. We have one pre-show match on Sunday Night Heat. We're continuing to kind of, I guess, build Billy Gunn in his heel turn while testing out a lot of our developmental superstars. This week we're testing out Damaja. I think that's how you pronounce that. He's one of the Basham brothers. I'm not exactly sure which one he is, so it's either Doug or Danny, but while he was in OVW, he went by the name Damaja, so. Billy Gunn versus Damaja. Terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat. Gunn goes over Damaja in 5 minutes, 35 seconds with the Famouser. 46 solid D. Commentary helped. Billy Gunn foreshadowing that heel turn. He had an in-ring performance of a 48. Damaja with a 34. So, Billy Gunn, you really need to step it up, brother. I mean, Damaja wasn't better than you, but come on. You should be leagues better than him, in my opinion. No, not yet. Alright, so we open up Sunday Night Heat with a 66 C+ rating here. Sunday Night Heat opens up with Billy Kidman and Tori Wilson. They're making their way down to the ring for the opening match of the night. And then out comes Billy Gunn's opponent, the leader of the Right to Censor, Steven Richards, who makes his way towards the ring with the mic in his hand. And, of course, he's got something to say, so. Attention, please. Can I have everyone's attention, please? The crowd, of course, not giving him any attention. They're just booing the hell out of him. So Richards decides to say, well, that's fine. I'll talk over you because, unlike all of you, my message is important. Now that I've gotten rid of the dead weight in the RTC and made an example out of those two sinners, It's time we focus on another repeat offender. Excuse me, but Billy? I'm sure we've had this discussion before, but it's pretty disgusting how you pull your lovely girlfriend, Miss Tori Wilson, around week after week on television, forcing her to wear that revealing outfit, all because you like the attention it gets you from all of these people. Well, don't you two worry, because the right to censor has plenty of openings for sinners such as yourself. So Tori, if you want to trade in your bra and panties for a button-up, you're more than welcome to. Heck, Billy, you can join too. I'll show you the right way to treat a lady. But first, you've got to be made an example of. And then that's when Richards tosses the mic down and he goes to swing at Billy Kidman and he connects, taking Kidman out for, a moment, starting the matchup. And we have our opening match, Richards versus Billy Kidman. Of course, Steven Richards still, preaching his propaganda as always, the right to censor way. And he's looking to make an example out of Billy Kidman here tonight. Tori getting better at her gimmick. Steven Richards very underwhelming, but Tori Wilson came across well. I mean, she is sexy, so obviously she came across well. We have a very perverted crowd. Opening match gets a 59 solid C rating here, and about that had subpar wrestling to it and little heat. Billy Kidman goes over Steven Richards in 8 minutes, 18 seconds by pinfall after distraction from both Val Venus and The Godfather. Don't know why it doesn't show The Godfather on here, because he is right there. But, yeah. I'd made this a flash pinfall as well, because I'd like to imagine, Richards, he looked pretty good in this matchup just for, the Pimp Party's music to hit, and out they come, probably dancing with some nice women, looking good, having a grand old time. Of course, Richards is distracted, screaming at them. Maybe he turns around, gets a kick from Billy Kidman to set up for a shooting star press, but I feel like Billy Kidman just, quickly doing that, bouncing Richards off the ropes real quick and then rolling him up for the pin. I don't know if you guys know exactly what I'm talking about there. It's a very common, small package or quick roll-up pin. Either way, Billy Kidman gets the victory over Steven Richards thanks to the distraction on the part of the Pimp Party. Kidman really off his game here tonight. Had an in-ring performance of a 58. Steven Richards with a 55. So even with Kidman off his game, still better than Steven Richards. No worker improvements to comment on as we jump into our next angle. 47 solid D rating here. Josh Matthews is backstage with Tommy Dreamer, and he starts off by saying, Josh Matthews here, and joining me at this time is former ECW champion, Tommy Dreamer. Tommy, last week we learned that Hardcore Holly has... What am I saying? I spelled Holly wrong. I spelled it Holy. Hardcore Holy has, as he said, adopted Spike Dudley into his family. And then Tommy Dreamer cuts off Josh Matthews. He goes, yeah, we sure as hell did. And you want to know what else we learned? We learned that Bob Holly is a manipulator, messing with Spike's mind. And I'm not going to stand for it. Spike is my family. Sure, my last name might not be Dudley, but if you cut me and you cut Spike, we both bleed ECW, and I'm not going to abandon my family. And then Matthews goes on to say, well, Tommy, you do have an upcoming match against Spike. Any final words before the match? And then Dreamer goes, yeah, Spike, I know you're listening. So I want to say I'm sorry for what I'm going to do tonight, but I'm going to beat some sense into you. And then Dreamer just walks away as we get ready for the matchup between the two. Beulah helping Dreamer out. Josh Matthews performing poorly, but, he is still in developmental. He has no popularity, so what can you do? What can you do? Did we not press the button? I hate this stupid button. 50D plus before the match can begin. Hardcore Holly is out in the ring as we are back from commercial break. He's standing in the ring right next to Spike. He decides to take the mic and he goes, Tommy, Spike and I saw your little speech before the match, and I've only got one response to it. If you were really Spike's family, then were we all when my deadbeat cousin broke his little heart? Oh, that's right. You were too busy chasing your selfish desires trying to become hardcore champion. But you failed, just like you always do, and just like you will tonight. So a quick little promo, nothing too special from Hardcore Holly as we get set for the matchup between Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer's music hits, he comes out as well. Gained some heat for the feud. Match itself gets, wow. Oh, they were jobbers. My bad. That's my bad, everybody. I didn't realize that they were both jobbers. I thought one was a lower mid-carder. 29, or excuse me, not even a 29, 26 solid E rating. Because the crowd is not happy about having two jobbers on the show despite knowing who these two are, but that's fine. And about that had subpar wrestling and little heat to it. Tommy Dreamer goes over Spike Dudley in 8 minutes 4 seconds after Spike was disqualified when Hardcore Harley ran in and attacked Tommy Dreamer. So Tommy probably looking good in the match and looking like he's going to win. Hardcore's not having any of it, probably slides into the ring and hits Tommy in the back with a steel chair or whatever, ending the match in DQ, pretty much. Brought the crowd down. I mean, I expected it. Come on. That's a part of me is tempted to go back and change this, but it's Sunday Night Heat, so I don't care that much. Spike had an in-ring performance of a 52. Tommy Dreamer with a 61. Lost heat for the feud because apparently they're both jobbers. You would think Tommy Dreamer's at least a lower mid-card by now, but what can you do? This will help it out, though. 50D plus rating here. The referee, he's calling for the bell, but Hardcore Holly is relentless in his beatdown on Tommy Dreamer. Just beating down on the former ECW champion, eventually picking Spike Dudley up by his hair, smacking him around a bit before, sicking him on to Tommy Dreamer, saying, let's beat up on this guy, so Spike joins in. Both Spike and Hardcore beating down on Dreamer. Beulah is screaming in the background, just begging them to stop it, and that's finally when the Sandman's music goes off. Dun 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 dun, dun, sounding like Twisted Transistor from Korn. I always thought that. Sandman's music goes off, and out comes, or excuse me, not yet. I'm jumping ahead of myself. His music goes off, and Hardcore Holly and Spike Dudley, they hear it. They face the entryway, waiting for the arrival of the Sandman, pretty much just begging him, daring him, doing the whole bring it on, let's do this thing. Unfortunately for them, they forgot that the Sandman doesn't use the entryway. He comes through the crowd, and he uses this to his advantage because he slides in from behind, pretty much the area where I guess the tables would all be set up in the commentary area. He slides in from behind, unnoticed by both Hardcore and Spike Dudley, and he just cracks that Singapore cane right across the back of the head of Spike Dudley. Hardcore Holly turns around, and luckily for him, he's able to duck as Sandman swings and misses with the Singapore cane. Holly slides out of the ring. Sandman just, sees his opportunity. Instead of going after Hardcore Holly, he goes after Spike again and just starts to beat down on Spike with that Singapore cane until, of course, Hardcore Holly pulls Spike out of the ring to retreat, leaving Sandman to check on Tommy Dreamer. One thing I will say about this that I kind of regret booking now that I know what I have in a little bit of the later segments is I kind of booked the same thing, but it's okay. It's a little bit of a difference, but still, it's kind of the same. And I do that a lot, I feel. Book like the same kind of thing going on, so I gotta be a little bit more aware of that, but that's okay. Dreamer was the real star in this segment, gained some heat for the feud, and hopefully maybe Tommy Dreamer will be a freaking lower mid-carder now, since he was the real star. 87B plus rating here as we get the This Week in the WWF segment. Of course, hyping up what happened during the week. We hype up Sting's promo on The Undertaker. We also hype up Triple H calling out the NWO. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin's beatdown on Goldberg at the end of Nitro. Jim Cornette and Michael Cole were pretty weak, but interesting enough here, Taz was okay. So I guess Taz is ready for the big league. Deserved better announcing, though, unfortunately. 50D plus before we get to our main event of the night. If you remember from last week, it is Rikishi versus Tank Abbott. We confirmed that last week. 50D plus backstage, Steven Richards, he's icing himself after his match. You got Ivory checking on him, making sure he's okay. And that's when Steven Richards just kind of begins to talk out loud, And he goes, "Can you believe those two? Nothing more but sex addicts when I found them. And this is the thanks I get for saving their lives? They go back to a life of crime while screwing me over in the progress? No. I won't allow those delinquents to ruin all the good work I've done. If a party is what those two pimps want, then I say it's time we crash it. Ivory, you and I have a lot of work and a lot of recruiting to do." And I kind of imagine the angle just ending with them pretty close to each other's faces, maybe looking like they're going to kiss. And they're both just smiling, nodding their heads, because they got some recruiting to do. We might be seeing some new members of the RTC coming out. Main event of the night gets a 48D plus rating. Poor matchup here. Rikishi and Tank Abbott end up drawing with each other as it goes into a no contest after 9 minutes 59 seconds when it descends into chaos after Alex Wright, Grandmaster Sexay, Disco Inferno, and Scotty 2 Hottie all became involved. So pretty much a big schmodge. Maybe Disco and Alex Wright slide in first, which leads to Scotty and Grandmaster Sexay sliding in first, and we have this all-out brawl between all three members of both teams, Boogie Nights and Too Cool, just brawling it out right now as the referee just calls for the bell because he's lost control. Match suffered, not enough selling shown, that's unfortunate. Rikishi with an in-ring performance of a 60, Tank Abbott with a 44, losing heat for the feud, no worker improvements. As we end off the night with a 58 C-, gaining some heat back to the feud. This is just a freestyle segment, so really nothing to read here. That all-out brawl just continues. You know, everybody's going back and forth, and eventually it leads to Too Cool taking out Boogie Nights, getting them out of the ring, and standing tall, maybe even doing a dance to end off the night while the Boogie Nights are just pissed. And then we end off the show to get a 62 solid C. Huh. Wouldn't have expected that. Expecting more of maybe a C-, to be honest, but a 62 solid C, that's fine. Tommy Dreamer apparently used far too much on the show. I disagree. Just like Funaki, you can never have enough of Tommy Dreamer. You gotta love the innovator of hardcore. Although I wouldn't really call him that, but that's what they call him. Either way, though, that is going... Oh, wait, no. I almost forgot about the best part of Sunday Night Heat. We gotta check on Developmental, boys. We still got Developmental companies to check on. Wow, that went by a lot quicker than usual. All right, let's see what we got. Tenru's injured, that's unfortunate. Jim Steele won. A few extremists, either loved it or hate it. So what do we got here? It looks like we're going to be going OVW, NWA, and then HWA, because it looks like HWA is the best. I thought that was a company like TNT or a TV company. Well, boy, you got a Superman tattoo, and you have really no look, so... You know what? You know what, TNT? Have you had any matches at all? No. You know what, TNT? You got good performance. You're strong, good physical. You're average everywhere else. I'm gonna give you a developmental deal. Oh, I'm sorry. You're based in Australia. Well, that might be why you're getting no work, dude. You work everywhere but America, dude. Calm down. All right, well, if we ever hit global, I'll give you a contract. How about that? But that sucks for you, man. I thought that said WrestleMania. I was about to sue. All right, so we're starting off with OVW Wrestling 48D+. We open up with Taylor Matheny. Still don't know who she is. Defeating Nikita. Is that the only woman that fight in this company? I never see anybody else. Defeating Nikita to retain her OVW Women's Championship with a 29 solid E. We then lead to a brawl involving cheerleader Lisa Marie Varon, which is Victoria, and Tracy Brooks. Maybe one of these three will get their shot. 37 D- as John Cena defeated Red Dog by DQ. 43 solid D as Mark Henry defeats Johnny Spade. And then our main event of the night for the OVW World Championship, 51 D+, as Bull Buchanan goes over Fit Finlay to retain the OVW Heavyweight Championship. Moving on to NWA Wildside Wrestling next. 49 D+. Good God, what happened to AJ Styles? Oh, never mind, he's right there. 49 D+. All right. We open up the night with a 29 solid E rating. Good God. David Young going over JC Daz. We then move on to our NWA Georgia Junior Heavyweight Championship, 50D+, as Adam Jacobs retains the NWA Georgia Junior Heavyweight title over Lazarus. 71 B-. I'm not exactly sure why this wasn't the main event, but okay. NWA Wildside Heavyweight Championship on the line as Sean O'Hare goes over Road Dogg, Jesse James, and AJ Styles to retain. And then the main event of the night, again, not sure why this was the main event, 51D plus rating here as Caprice Coleman and Air Paris go over David Flair and Ken Anderson. That's actually kind of an interesting team. Not sure why it was the main event. And then finally, we move on to HWA Wrestling. 51D plus rating for the show. We open up the night with a 36D minus rating here as the Haas brothers, Charlie and Russ Haas, I mixed them up, that's Russ, that's Charlie, go over the Ace Squad, which is, I believe, the Jabolskis. Yep, Chet Jabolski and Dean Jabolski. We then move on to the HWA Cruiserweight Championship, which gets a 49D+. Honestly, this probably was a really good match. Yang going over Elix Skipper to retain. We then go to a 47D rating here as Kaz Haishi goes over BJ Whitmer. And in our main event of the night, 54C-, D'Lo Brown retains his HWA Heavyweight Championship against Mike Sanders. All right, not too shabby, not too shabby. Let's continue simulating. Who knows? Maybe we'll get another show. I always like it when we get like another quick little show, like one of their little pay-per-views. Although we might not, to be completely honest. It is the first week. I don't think we see pay-per-views until about the 4th week for the developmental companies. But you never know. You never know. I've been getting a lot of questions lately from you guys, though, asking me what's the plans for Invasion after, WrestleMania, after we're done pretty much. And the plans for Invasion after WrestleMania time is to continue. We are going to continue on at least to yet one more WrestleMania. So, oh look, Victoria's a hot property. Unfortunately, she doesn't like me because, well, I fired China. Uh-oh, we gotta sneeze. Excuse me. But yeah. Oh no. Is it a tour? Oh, it's a tour. Thank God. But like I was saying, the plan is pretty much to keep going. We're gonna keep moving on after WrestleMania time, and we're gonna probably build up to at least the year after, like 2003's WrestleMania, and that's when I'll probably thinking about calling it there. If we get there, if there's still more demand for the series, we can always continue the series. I've got no problem. I have a lot of fun with this series. But I think we get to this WrestleMania and then we move over to the next one. I think that's where we'll be at. But we'll see where we go from there as well. But that's kind of the plan. Like I said, I've been getting a lot of questions about that, so I figured now would be the chance to really kind of talk to you guys about that. Oh, wow, BCW is getting a lot of people. Is that the company that just moved up? No, it was HWF. What is that? Historic Wrestling Forever. And they just raised up to a small. What are they, based in England? Oh, they are based. Okay, they're in the British Isles. I didn't know that. I only saw Robbie Brookside. That's what made me say it. Uh-oh. I doubt it's anything serious. Yeah, it's just a paper appearance. I don't give a damn. Go for it, Simone. And Shane Ballard is chosen to relocate to the British Columbia. Okay, whatever. Another thing, I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but I did a little bit of a video. Like I said, I commented on the video too, so I might actually redo the video in a more professional way. But I did a video kind of where I talked about what I would have done differently with Big Cass, because Big Cass was just released. We heard all about it. Apparently, I guess he had some attitude problem and a drinking problem or something. But I made a video about it, what I would have done differently with Big Cass. You guys are more than welcome to check that out if you like. But beware, I might redo it. Might being a very, pretty much might being one of those, it's almost a guarantee that I'm probably going to redo that. Okay, what is this BCW? Because they are signing up some good talents. Border City Wrestling, local thing, based in Ontario. Interesting. Look at this roster. They've got some talents. Angel Williams, Angelina Love. Chris Sabin. Delirious. Alright, maybe they don't have a whole bunch of talent. Paul London. Sarah Del Rey. Like, they got some talent going on here, though. Alright, BCW, I see you. Paul London signs a pay-per appearance. We know. But yeah, I made that video. You guys are welcome to check it out. But like I said, beware, because I honestly will probably be redoing it more of a professional way and not off the top of my head like I made it in that video. Plus, I really don't like the quality of it and everything. I won't lie. The video itself, I kind of ramble. It's like 20 minutes and it really shouldn't be that long. So I'm most likely going to redo that. But I am trying to work very hard on this channel. I've been working on a lot of scripts here and there. Oh, we did have a show. Awesome. Working on some scripts for some other things I want to do on this channel. There's other things I'm going to probably start introducing here and there as well. Hopefully you guys like it. I'm kind of just becoming the total extreme wrestling guy, and I want to expand out, you know. My name's pretty random, so why not make the channel just as random as my name is? Anyway, before we end off this episode, let's go ahead and check out HWA's Super... What is that? Fighted? Okay, Super Fighted show. 53C- for the pay-per-view. Apparently it was shown on TV, so... We open up with a 26 solid E rating here as Cody Hawk goes over Matt Striker. We didn't have a backstage angle, which gets a 55C- between Kimona Wanalea and Mike Sanders. I have no idea who that is. 46 solid D. They should just pair Matt Striker and Striker. Both the Matt Strikers need to be paired with each other. Unibrow Striker loses to Yang by disqualification, probably for the Cruiserweight Championship. 39 D- as Charlie and Russ Haas go over the Island Boys, Ikumu Fatu and Kimu. We then have another backstage angle, this time a 45 solid D, confrontation between Cruiserweight Champion Yang and former World Champion Shannon Moore. So maybe Shannon Moore's looking for the Cruiserweight title, who knows? 43 solid D as we have 6-man tag team action here as, where is he at? Evan Courageous, Corporal Cajun, and BJ Whitmer go over Shannon Moore, Rory Fox, and Reno. Who knows, maybe Yang cost Shannon Moore that match. And then finally, in the main event of the night with a 58C- rating here, D'Lo Brown retains his HWA Heavyweight Championship against Kaz Hayashi. Alright, not a bad show, guys. Heat got a 3.02 rating. And with that, that is going to be the end of this video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you have not already, and as always, share this video with your friends, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your Instagrams, I don't give a dams. All the social media accounts out there, if you feel it will help, definitely give it a share and help your boy out. In fact, if you feel you got a buddy out there who would enjoy my content, give them a share as well. Maybe help your boy get some new subscribers up in this bitch. Either way, though, I've got buddies as well. You can check them down below in the description. I recommend checking out my buddy Raging Yoshi. He's very active on YouTube. And my buddy ZachManziNVO, very active on Twitch. That's going to be the end of this video. I will see you guys for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one, everybody.